polish your chainsaws and wash out your do-rags because we have a review of Gears 5 and Meg will tell you her thoughts on this game.
Now we're coming into AAA game release season in one of the slowest years of new IP in ages. One of the first big releases off the ranks to keep you busy before Death Stranding is Gears 5. And yes, that is no longer Gears of War because the hashtag is definitely trying to steal all the characters in your tweet. This third-person shooter is an Xbox exclusive made by the Microsoft-owned studio Coalition and is the 6th title in the Gears franchise. New Game Plus were lucky enough to attend the Gears Inc. party here in Melbourne and see the game in the flesh before release. The campaign kicks off directly at the end of Gears of War 4, and there is an incredible amount of video content built into the game to get you back up to speed. If you've never played a Gears of War game and feel like it's just too hard to jump back in with no knowledge, then there's so much video trailers and recap content that can be found in the main menu that is more than enough to get started. Firstly, we have to talk about the graphics of this game. It is probably the most beautiful Gears game in the franchise. The cinematic scenes are next level. It's like a movie all on its own. The voice actors could not have been more perfectly suited to these characters and have a really rare chemistry that makes the player feel like they've known them for ages, which is actually pretty spot on considering, don't you think? The open world term is a bit of a stretch for Gears 5 as the environments are barren wastelands, and it's still fairly linear in some acts. The ice world, the snow physics, the glaciers are spectacular, and the desert and post-apocalyptic damaged buildings are super detailed and immersive. The campaign story is gripping for all the right reasons and can be played couch co-op with up to 3 people. The promo art and trailers all feature the female protagonist, Kate, but she actually doesn't appear and isn't a playable character in the campaign right away. At first, I felt like it was misleading and that Microsoft was trying to lure female gamers in with this direction. But never fear, among the nail-biting journey you go on with Dell, Robot Jack, and Kate, you can actually choose her avatar after Act 2 and work together to uncover the secrets of the Locust, unravel the mystery of her past, and protect the future of the world. It's so exciting to see the characters in this game are extremely diverse and embrace LGBT and even showcase disability. The devs have actually added 19 different Pride banner flags in the multiplayer for players. The locusts and boss monsters are totally badass and come at you in waves as per usual, which is super fun to tackle. Unfortunately, a lot of them are bullet soaking instead of strategically hard to kill, so it was common for them to waste all of my inventory. There was still plenty of weapon drops and bullet replenishment along the way though, and it was really epic when you found that really amazing gun to slay the beast with. I felt the collectible objectives were actually a little bit redundant and didn't add any value or context to the story for me. And it's a shame because those insanely detailed level design and gorgeous environments, while searching through them, there weren't enough of them out there. There was no skill tree required for you as an individual player, but your robot assistant Jack has actually some epic skills to upgrade and help you fight along the way. Actually, a huge selling point for me was the polished split screen options for couch co-op. And the game also has cross-play online, which means you can play on PC while your mate plays on Xbox, and it's really seamless, especially on multiplayer. The multiplayer horde mode is recurring again, and it's had some system improvements and gameplay changes, which make it kind of feel a bit fresher. And there's a brand new escape mode, which is brand new to Gears 5, which all players really love. Celebrity partnerships with Mike Bautista and Terminator are actually characters for online multiplayer, and there looks to be a huge range of different enemies to keep it interesting throughout the waves of horde mode. Gears 5 is a must-play for fans of the Gears franchise, with so many references to infamous enemies, nostalgic characters, and is a super fun experience overall. Even people that are new to the story or simply just want a great multiplayer shooter.
A Gears game with good story? A Gears game with colour? Who'd have thought it? I've got Meg here on the couch to talk about this more because how do?
Yeah.
How, why, what?
I feel like this had an extremely positive reaction when it launched just last week here. And I can't believe how goddamn beautiful the game really is. And I know I mentioned it in my review, but I wanted to talk about this more with Don because we've come really far.
Yes, like when the series first started as Gears of War 1 on the Xbox 360, that was
Very brown.
Very brown, very grey. The characters were very thick and very same, but now we've got like color. We've got what's called grass. We've got ice. We've got
Yep,
apocalyptic
desert.
desert. You're like the whole brain. It's basically a Mario game.
Yeah.
You just need the lava level and you're set.
There's actually map creation, which you can build yourself, kind of like Super Mario Maker as well.
Has someone built World 1.1 in Escape yet?
Oh man, it was a classic, but it's not far off.
Yeah.
I feel like though the blockiness still is there, and the mocap and the voice acting is like creme de la creme. But what I really found the most was the bugs at launch.
Yeah. I mean, isn't the game about shooting bugs?
Nice one. Ponerific. It's definitely really buggy, and there was a couple of times where I was collecting things that weren't showing up in my inventory, as well as the robot AI getting stuck in doorways. And you were telling me that you had problems.
No, yeah, like a lot of my collectibles never actually popped up as completed.
Yeah.
Which meant like during the chapter, which was basically a big Hamilton reference, I don't have any of those in me, and I really want my not Hamilton references. Give.
I think it's a really great example of what live service games means in today's gaming release industry. But the developers are really transparent and clear on social media when those bugs were raised at launch, especially with the Game Pass giving the game early to people a couple of days before it went live worldwide.
Yeah.
And they acknowledged the bugs and say they were working on them. And I think that really puts the players at ease, knowing that there's people like working on those things.
But like there is one thing that was pretty solid from day one, and that is the story. Like who'd have thought that? Like I've spoken to people about the story, and like they've gotten emotional over some of the story bits, and even just like Meg, you were talking about to me before about the quieter moments in the story that really helped build the characters.
I feel like in the open world acts of the game, which is 2 and 3, it was during those times we were using the skiff to transport around and find those collectibles, where the story and the narrative really heavily rely on Dell and Kate's dialogue to progress that evolution of all the other characters left behind in the earlier scenes in the game. So once you do arrive back to the town where everyone is, the progression is sort of like organically happened along the way without really using a lot of cutscenes to take you there.
Yeah, it's like it's not. You don't get the sense that they are what's called mentioning exposition. They aren't exposing the story to you in very little terms. It is that they do feel like two characters just in this situation, just trying to shoot the breeze, basically.
Correct. Shoot the breeze is right. Those open worlds are very, very boring in terms of the fact that I kind of wish it was more like Borderlands, where at least you just like discover some crazy monsters that you have to kill randomly, but there's literally not much going on.
No, just what's got a lot of skiing, a lot of talking, and a lot of daddy issues in that game as well. So many daddy issues.
Marcus Phoenix actually is on the intercom a lot of the time, where it sort of helps the two characters discover all these areas and help, I guess, guide them along the way and providing a little bit of insight and humor to the journey. Yeah.
Again, who'd have thought that we'd be talking about the writing, the characters, and the story and the graphics in a Gears game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just shows how much this series has progressed.
In my review, I said that it was probably one of the most good-looking Gears of War, but I'm going to take that word probably away because I think that was a slip. It is the most
especially on PC as well. Aside from a few texture pop-ins, it is like rock solid on PC. So like I kind of want to go play it. So let's just end the show and let's get straight to it. So thank you very much for tuning in for another episode of New Game Plus. Next week, Matt will be taking the hosting chair, which of course means that there'll be lots of Monster Hunter. We will have a review of the latest Monster Hunter expansion. But until then, visit our website at www.newgameplus.tv for all our past episodes and videos. And for the latest news, visit our social media websites on Facebook. On Twitter, we are at New Game Plus TV, one word, no spaces. We also have our Twitch streams every other day at twitch.tv/NewGamePlusTV. So thank you all again for watching, and we hope to see you here again next week.